The truth is, I hated you. I wanted you out of the way. I wanted my life back.
At long last, he finally understood what was happening in Silent Hill. The truth was that he had known from the beginning. He just hadn't allowed himself to admit it. He had been clinging to a single hope, the desire to forget reality. There are very few video game protags as hauntingly complex as James Sunderland from Silent Hill 2. On the surface, he's just a man searching for his deceased wife in a mysterious town. But as we journey alongside James, we realize that Silent Hill isn't just a physical place. It's a psychological battleground reflecting his deepest guilt and darkest secrets. James Sunderland arrives in Silent Hill after receiving a letter from his wife, Mary. The letter is simple yet unsettling. It beckons him to the place where they once shared happy memories. But there's a glaring issue with this letter.
A dead person can't write a letter.
The official Silent Hill novel delves deeper into the couple's backstory, stating that James and Mary met at a mutual friend's house party where they were swept into a whirlwind, passionate relationship that was considered love at first sight. James took Mary to Silent Hill 3 years ago, which conflicts with his accounts that she died 3 years ago. In reality, she got sick shortly after their trip, so it's really that the Mary he loved and the life he loved with her died 3 years ago when she got sick. During her illness, he took to drinking and lashing out in anger towards his coworkers, which gave him a reputation among them as a troublemaker. Interestingly enough, his budding alcoholism is referenced in the remake when James is tempted by Maria to have a drink with her. James looks wistfully at the alcohol, but he manages to refrain from touching it. In the original, there's a segment where James also references his drinking, albeit not as subtly. Regardless of plausibility, James decides to travel within Silent Hill, clinging to the hope that his wife is somehow alive within the town. And almost immediately, the town fills off, shrouded in fog and teeming with grotesque creatures. The town serves as more than just a setting. It's an extension of James's inner turmoil. The monsters aren't random. They're manifestations of his guilt and repressed desires. Take PyramidHead, for example. This iconic creature isn't just a terrifying antagonist, it's a living symbol of James's need for punishment. Its relentless pursuit reflects his deep-seated belief that he deserves to suffer. PyramidHead forces James to relive what he's done over and over, not allowing him to hide within his repressed memories. Even the nurses, hypersexualized yet grotesque, embody James's conflicted feelings about Mary's illness and the strain it put on their intimacy. And of course, we can't forget about Maria. Maria represents the idealized version of Mary, the perfect partner James wanted her to be, free of illness and full of vitality. But she also embodies James's guilt and shame over his actions, making her a constant reminder of the darkness he's trying to escape. Maria's repeated death throughout the game are deeply symbolic. Each time James witnesses her death, it forces him to relive the trauma of losing Mary, as well as face his guilt head-on. In fact, every corner of Silent Hill forces James to confront a piece of himself that he'd rather ignore. At its core, Silent Hill 2 is a story about denial. His journey through the town is also a journey inward, peeling back the layers of his subconscious. The pivotal moment comes when he discovers the truth about Mary's death, that he, in a moment of despair and selfishness, was the one who ended her life. This revelation isn't just shocking, it reframes everything we've experienced. Silent Hill was never about finding Mary, it was about James confronting the truth he buried deep within himself. James was called to the town just like Eddie and Angela. They really were all the same, fellow sinners trapped in their own self-created nightmares. The armless creatures were created from feelings of confinement. The mannequin monsters, their bodies made up of 2 pair of legs, were born from lust. The monsters that crawled beneath the floor originated from a desire to escape. In the novel, James comes to this understanding with the following introspection. These things were all produced by my subconscious, from the darkness in my heart. They're all just illusions that this town's strange power made into reality. Well, not a complete reality. I wonder if anyone else could even see these creatures. Maybe it's only those whose inner darkness matches the darkness of Silent Hill who have to face these horrors.
Let's party!
James Sunderland's story resonates because it taps into universal human fears, guilt, loss, and the struggle for redemption.
I'm ready.
Silent Hill's ability to morph into a mirror of the psyche makes it more than a horror game. It's a psychological masterpiece that forces players to grapple with uncomfortable truths. In the end, James's fate varies depending on the choices you make, but whether he finds peace, denial, or destruction, one thing is clear: Silent Hill remains a haunting reminder that we cannot outrun ourselves. James Sunderland isn't a hero or a villain. He's simply human, a flawed individual navigating the blurry line between redemption and damnation. And perhaps that's why Silent Hill 2 still lingers on our minds long after the credits roll. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to help grow this channel and see more deep dives like this one. There's already a dive into Angela and a more in-depth exploration of creature symbolism of Silent Hill 2 on the channel, so please feel free to take a look. And I'll see you guys in the next lore dive.